open the
Yes,
first page?
yes, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hmm?
Actually, the title, you guys, is Key Role of Manager at Toyota. So I'm talking about what is the role of managers? What is the responsibility of managers? Not necessarily newcomer or younger, not younger, but it's people actually working on those jobs. But I'm talking about managers.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, okay. How can I? Because there is some band, it's hiding something. What is this one? Can you enlarge this slides or?
No.
Oh, you cannot. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. No,
Yep.
it's gone. I think it's gone. It's not gone. Anyway, okay. Key role to the managers. Two things.
Wait a minute, Isao, because we lost your camera. Can you?
Really? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. How about this?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now, as you see on this page 2, on the left hand side, create the environment to help your people to follow the company strategy. So it's a hosting country. So on the left hand side, create the environment where your people working for you can work very happily or not happily in a very right manner or right course, be on the right course. So this is create the environment. See, it's not only the boss tells you to do what you need to. So it's so different from maybe Western style managers. Western style manager, I don't know much about European society, but I spent so much time in the United States. But the United States boss makes all the decisions and tell their people, do this, do that. The target is this date or this is the target. Okay, do this. Maybe 5 weeks later, you just come to report to me. It is so different. So I want to share this with you today. So again, left-hand side is create environment. Because you spend 8 hours or more than 8 hours a day, every single day from Monday through Friday. So you spend more time in the office than you spend your time with your family. So think about it. So it's just like a family. And so boss is just like father or mother or the grandfather, grandmother. So anyway, so create a nice environment where you feel comfortable to work in. That is very important role of managers. And on the right hand side, help your people to grow constantly. It means people development is a very important role of managers because it's not that you tell your people to do exactly what they're assigned. Of course, that is part of it, but people would like to be happy, would like to feel happy. So if people, grow to a higher level in the knowledge or higher level of the skill, and they feel happier, then that is very good. So your manager needs to help your people to grow constantly, not today only, but constantly. So those two things a great pillar. So on the left-hand side, how to create an environment when we use Hoshin Kandi type of concept. On the right-hand side, people development, every single day, all the managers always think about how to make my people feel like I'm getting better each day. Next page, please. And then let's talk about Hoshin Kandi. Hoshin Kandi is a Japanese word. And we introduced this concept a long time ago, 1950s, 1960s, no, 1960s, long time ago, when all those lean experts in the United States came over to Japan to teach us. And I joined Toyota 1966. So it's those crazy, not crazy, but very, very, hardcore learning stage was over. And I was so impressive. Anyway, Hoshin Kandi is Hoshin. Okay, two words. Hoshin is direction, just like compass. when you go out for hiking, you need some compass. Where's the direction? North. Where's south? So set the vision and go a direction where you need to go. So you start with vision. Vision is a big picture. Then based on the big picture, you set a goal and then action plans to attain the goal. That is, we call it hoshin. So you set the goal, set the direction. Then kanri means implement and review. It's a kind of management to make sure that all the plans are practiced regularly and as originally planned. So hoshin kanri is a name that you set the goal, you set the vision, goal and action plans and discuss with each other, then step forward. And then in a certain timing, you get together and review whether things are going as originally planned or not. If something is wrong, something is missing, then you sit down, discuss what we're going to do after this. So that is part of kanri activities. So this is hoshin kanri is a very, very important concept, particularly for Toyota. So when many people keep asking us, Toyota people, what is the reason why Toyota has been so successful? Many people, Toyota car is very excellent. No, every car in the world it's high level. It's no major difference. Then what makes Toyota different? Because of these topics that I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain to you all these items. Is not too different, but Toyota do this very, very thoroughly. Okay, we're going to hoshin kanri style. I already talked about it, but in the 50s we implemented, and at the time, in America, particularly in America, they call it MBO, which is management by objectives, but they are focusing on the target, whether the target is attained or not. Attaining the target is the most important thing for Americans in those days. While in Japan, we learned so much from Americans, but at the same time, we created a kind of many small changes because attaining the target is so very, very important. However, in order to attain the target, you have to establish some action plans to attain the target. Those action plans, maybe this is more important to attaining the target because if you create a good action plans, then you can utilize that action plans to another project, another items. So it is so important to set the goal. At the same time, you have to create action plans to attain the target, both target and action plans both. This is so important. This is a major difference between hoshin kanri Japanese style and MBO American style. I don't think it's a good thing to compare American Japanese, but this MBO and hoshin kanri style. Next page, please. And then page 5 believes, okay, we call it cascade, just like you see on the right-hand side, water flows from top to the bottom. So just that same thing. On the left-hand side, triangle shows the hierarchy of the environment, a company. Top management, then underneath top management, senior managers. Then underneath senior managers, we have so many section managers. Then on the lowest, newly hired people and non-titled people. This is the hierarchy. So when top management creates a right-hand side corporate philosophy and vision, and target, of course, but they establish a very grand view of the corporate philosophy and vision. Based on the vision, they set the target. We would like to attain this target, a certain % of the market share by the end of this year, something like that. This is the target. Then based on the company hoshin, then senior managers, the next rank, senior managers, still they are high. So they take care of so many divisions, so many departments. It's a huge amount of people. So section managers develop their own vision, their own hoshin, detailed hoshin, based on what they do. So then underneath senior managers, we have section managers, a little bit less, it's a little bit lower rank, below senior manager, but still they have so many action plans, so many items they have to tackle. So they create, based on the division senior managers hoshin, they create their own section managers hoshin. So that's what we call it, cascade down. It's break it down from top management to more details. So on the bottom, rank and file, new guys just join the company. When they look at their hosting of the group, for example, for the section, then okay, I'm working on this item. Now I'm happy. I'm part of this team. When I look at this above, senior managers hosting, then company hosting, oh, my job is related to attain this company goal. So that makes us feel like I'm part of the team. So this is what we. Sure.
Sorry.
Sure,
Sorry.
sure.
So I interrupt you because what I want to add, there are companies in Poland who are using Hoshinkanri, and when I was working on the Hoshinkanri with some companies, it's always the same summary at the end. Wow! Finally.
Summary.
When I'm asking them for feedback, what value they see in Hoshinkanri, they are saying, finally, we know how, what is our priority, what is our common direction. Yeah. So it's not so common that we cascade those goals in the correct way. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Also, Polish managers are starting using it, and they see, and these senior managers and sections managers see the huge value of it. And just the information for you, Marcin Hołda wrote the book on how to make the Hoshinkanri, so you can find it in internet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
All
Sorry
right,
for interruption.
All right, that's fine. Next page, please. Okay, then this is a key characteristic of Hoshinkanri. Maybe I have 5 or 6 or 7 items. One is on the left hand side. I have 3 over here. Employee involvement. This is very important. Hoshin document is not necessarily developed by the top guy or by the senior manager. No. Every employee should be involved in creating, finalizing the Hoshin document because, it's simple. People working, if you are the boss of some group, you are not working directly on the items, but your people working. If you have 5 people, then you assign each 5 people a 5 different assignments. Then you are not working on each of the 5 items, but your people working on that. What you are doing as a manager is that you're managing, you're helping them, and you're so you're managing. No, you're not doing the job just like your subordinate is doing. So your major role is to help them, and if they need more knowledge, more experience, you have to teach them, you have to train them, and so your role as a manager is to make sure that people working very happy and very good, a good way and smoothly or not. This is so important. So in order to make it happen, you have to help them and help them join the team. Also, you have to talk to them. You have to listen to them. So employee involvement, that means you have to be close with each other. This is so important. Next one in the center, focus on the biggest issue. This means biggest issue because, the higher you go, you have so many items you have to tackle. But just I said, if you run after 2 hares, 2 rabbits, you will catch neither because you have to focus. So prioritize action plans into maybe at least 4 or 5 items. Sometimes 10 is fine, but that's sometimes too many. So you have to focus on the most important things you have to tackle this year. On the right-hand side, set clear target. This is something that many people just misunderstand that. For example, let me give you a bad example. If you want to improve the productivity, if now it's 15 minutes, 50%, for example, 50% better than last year, and you want to set a goal for this year. Then if you set a goal, last year we attained the 15% above last year than last year. Then we want to improve a little more. So then a little more means how many percentage? 16 or 17, 80s or 20%? So you have to put in the clear target. So sometimes it's not clear. Then people don't know, working for you don't know, okay, what is the real target? So it's so important to set the numerical target, maybe numbers, sometimes number percentage or amount of money or whatever, or concrete milestone that everybody can agree, everybody can share. So it's so important. Next page, please.
I think what is worth to add here, this is what you were explaining me, that this targets should not come from what we can, but they should come what we need to do to follow the strategy. Yeah,
exactly. That is, target needs to be decided, by necessity. If you need to do something next year, then you have to set a target. Doesn't matter whether it's easy to attain or it's very difficult to attain, but if you have to do that, then you have to put the target. So it's not what you can. Of course, it can be a Hoshin document, but does not, we cannot call it Hoshin because you have to set the target which is very, very important, necessary for the next year, for us for next year. So maybe I can talk something about it. Okay, this one, see, seemingly impossible. The reason why I put this is Shinkansen in Japan. Shinkansen is developed a long time ago, 1964, when Tokyo Olympic Games was held in Tokyo in October 1964, I think. See, at the time, Japanese government decided, Olympic Games will be held in October. So 5 years earlier, they decided to create this very fast-moving train project, and so they decided, okay, we've been working on this project for so many years, and this is very fast-moving. We call it Shinkansen in Japanese. Shinkansen, a new bullet train, very fast train, and this happened to be after 4 or 5 years, Tokyo Olympic will be held. So we cannot be late for this one because Olympic Games will be happen and so many people overseas countries will come to visit Japan. So we have to finish everything to be ready for those tourists and everything. So this Shinkansen was started as just one of the target, but it's within 5 years. Look at this one. Yeah, okay. On the lower side, 1, 2, 3. So the target is this one should maximum speed of 250, which is almost impossible. And 3 hours, because of this distance between Tokyo and Osaka, 3 hours was almost impossible. However, if we do 250 hours per hour, then you can make it 3 hours. And most important thing that, they like it or not, but Olympic Games will be held 64. It was decided after they started this project. So they started 59. So, okay, within 5 years, we have to make it happen. We have to finish. So it is almost impossible for them, all those teams, impossible, but they cannot say no. So this is almost seemingly impossible. It's not impossible, seemingly impossible target. So this is exaggerating, very extreme target. However, sometimes the target comes from the necessity. Not always come from necessity, but this is an extreme case. But the project was successful. And I was in Tokyo a long time ago, and I came to know one of the key project leader of this Shinkansen project, and he said, Yoshino-san, this is amazing because we are given a seemingly impossible target. That was the power, because everybody was talking about, it's impossible. But we cannot say impossible to the government because it was already given. So this is an extreme case, but still, sometimes this works. So I'm showing just an exaggerated case. Anyway, so target is just something like this. Another thing is that Hoshinkan, this is very important. As you see in this chart, okay, let me explain very quickly. chart on the, you see on the triangle and the double circle and cross. See, on the left-hand side, the process, when you go up means good process, very excellent process. When you go down, a poor process, but you do just randomly, it's not good. But so you go upward, good process. On the left, on the horizontal result, on the left-hand side, bad result, and right-hand side, good result. So let me talk about this. The X means when the process is bad or lower portion. Process is bad, and most likely you cannot get good result. See, it's natural. Process is terrible, then you cannot make it. So it happens everywhere. How about this on the up there, on the left-hand side, triangle plus. When the process is very good, but sometimes for so many reasons, things happen when you least expect it. Something happens, so sometimes you cannot get a good result. That could happen in this world, fast-moving world. Sometimes happens. However, don't get disappointed because people just keep telling us, okay, Yoshino, don't worry about it. Don't get depressed because the process you have taken is very good. So that is the most important thing. So if the process is good sooner or later, then you get good result. So even though you have a result is triangle plus, which is not bad. So don't get disappointed. If the process is good, sooner or later you will, because good plan, good process, you will get, most likely you get a good result. So this is what they say. Then on the restaurant, let me add one more. Right-hand side, triangle minus. One good example. If the process is bad, lower. However, sometimes you got a good result, like lottery. You know the lottery is. They have a lottery stand. They sell some tickets, and if you are very lucky, you get millions of euros, or millions of yen, or $1,000,000. But you know that does not repeat for you. It just happened there. It's not only good luck. It's not your experience, nothing. Just only thing you did is to go to the lottery shop and spend some money. And that's it. So no effort, no learning, no nothing. So that happens maybe once in a lifetime, but does not repeat. So that is triangle minus, which you don't try that. So always try to make a good process, then don't worry. So this is the concept behind this. This is very, very important. So process, or we call it process oriented. Next page, please. And okay, key characteristics. Another one, I have 3 more. On the left-hand side, this is so important. Facts and assumptions. Facts is facts. Fact is like, well, the sun rises in the east every morning. See? It does not rise in the east, but it's same things happen. So it does not, people don't even doubt about it. So facts does not change. Fact does not change. But assumption changes, because I think he was in Tokyo yesterday, but actually not. It was maybe he was not. But you assume, you think. So facts and assumptions totally 2 different things. And of course, the facts are so important because you cannot move, you cannot change. Facts don't change. And so in order to follow it with Genchi, Genbutsu Shugi, it's a Japanese word. Genchi, Genbutsu. Genchi means right. You go to the place where things are happening. Genbutsu, you see the things which you see. You can touch it. You can, or Genbutsu, you see the place by your own eyes. So this is very important attitude. Then data driven, same thing. Data does not change. Oh, data changes, but data shows the fact in the past. So don't assume, don't depend on your assumption or image. And also 5W1H, you know that this should be clear. And in order to make it happen, Mieruka is a Japanese word. Mieruka is to make it visible. And within Toyota, Mieruka is a very key word. And I believe you must have heard about 5 S's. 5, that's all Japanese word. Seiri, Seiton, Seiketsu, Seiso, Shitsuke, everything starts with S. And of course you have an English version. Maybe you can share later. But this is a very important item to make it everything visible. And bottom, this is the bottom, but this is the most important thing. Bad news first, because when you bring the news to somebody else, bad news should be delivered first of all, not bring good news. Of course you can, but bad news needs quick decision making. No, not decision, quick action to be taken to solve the problem. And why we say this, because many people, many companies in many other countries, companies are, when you make mistakes, you feel very bad. See, you make a mistake, you don't want to share with anybody, particularly with your boss. So sometimes when your boss asks you, everything is okay, then he said, yes, sir. And any problem? No, everything is okay. Very smooth, everything is okay, yes, sir. But of course you have some bad news, but you want to hide it not because you are a bad person, because boss will be mad. Boss will not feel happy. And boss will yell out to you, why you've been making all the mistakes in the last 3 months. How many times do you have to do those mistakes? Then if boss blame you, then what do you feel about yourself? Boss keeps blaming me for the mistakes I make. I did not plan to do that. So bad news first is very important attitude for bosses. On the center, regular review of the result and process. This is also very, very important review. So when the plan, do, check, and action. You know that. And all those 4 items, plan, do, check, action, PDCA, what is the most important thing? It's check, which is review. Once you start with the plan process, you plan process and then set forward, which is do. But sometimes you expect things are going smoothly. However, so many things happen when you at least expect it, so you fail, or these things don't go as much as you think it does. So, but if the boss is not a good listener, boss is always want to hear good news, then you want to hide it. See, on the first three months review, then it's still new. So something happens, of course. Some bad things happen, but you want to hide it because, my boss will be mad. So let's hide it until maybe 2 more months, then we will see. If you hide it, then you become negative. Nothing happens. So it's vicious circle. And so within Toyota, always we advise people, bring me bad news, because it's a great opportunity to discuss. Okay, on the right now, I'm going to people development, because people are the most important asset, not machines. See, people is important. So I always try to help people. Bosses always need to help people to develop or clarify their goals and the ownership, and help them if they need some help. So bosses most important responsibility to not find fault with the people, but find the good things they have accomplished and help them to grow more. And next page, please. Okay, these are important things. Then, see, this is a repetition, helping to grow. Next page, please. Very important to do okay, this is very, very important. You use the word respect, show respect. There are 2 items, 2 meanings when we use the word of respect. On the upper portion, on the right-hand side, on upper portion, when you look at this, when something very great thing achieved, somebody achieved very, very high goal and excellent result, the people admire for the outstanding ability and accomplishment. So people believe, just like on the right-hand side, okay, the guy on standing on the higher steps, okay, the lower people, okay, you did a great job, sir. Just, you are so smart, and I cannot do that, but you did it. Thank you very much, but you appreciate. Congratulations for the great job. So the guy on the bottom looking up, okay, he's great, but I'm low. I'm right here. I cannot attain just like he. So he put himself on the lower position while he put the guy on higher position. This is one meaning of admire, one meaning respect. And the lower portion is no change, no rank, but respect, because everybody is different from each other. See, if you have 10 people, today we have 62 people in this session. 62 people have 62 different character, different way of thinking, different background, different value, different approach, and different different opinions. So we have to accept it. Everybody is different. We have to listen to them. If they have a totally different the idea they have, then you have to listen to them, because that might be better than using yours. So show respect means everybody is standing on the same level. Maybe sometimes they are ranked in the higher position in the organization, but what does it mean? From the people point of view, we are the same. So this is so important. This is what we call show respect, and this concept start. Of course, we knew that, but start in 2000, year 2000, about 20 years ago, 23 years ago. So because our top management feels that this concept is kind of missing these days. That was they felt maybe around 2000. So that's why top management, Mr. Cho, who was the president, said, let's put this word in our Hoshin document. So show respect is it's nothing new. However, show respect is very, very important. Next page, please. See the same, we continue. Accept the people different. See, as you see, there are so many, all people have different background. Everybody is different from each other. See? So in order to get to know each other, you have to listen to them. You have to accept what their opinion is. And so in order to get to know, you have to listen to them. And that is the starting point to get to know and create a team. And everybody has a different creativity, different character, different potential, different skill, whatever. So your role as a manager is to help them to grow that specific ability and specific skills to a higher level to each person. This is leader's job. It's not a leader's job to bind everybody together, set the same goal, and okay, you do this. If you are low level than this target, you have to work harder. It's slightly different. Each person has its own level, so you have to view things from each person's viewpoint. It requires it requires a lot of tolerance and patience. It's very, very, and I have to add seriousness. Same thing, tolerance, patience, seriousness, the most important key words for managers. That is what I've been told when I was younger, and that what I've been thinking that most important thing. Even now, I don't have any subordinate working for me, but still, I keep coaching to the younger generation. I want to be tolerant. I want to be patient. I want to be serious about what I'm coaching. Next page, please. Okay, listen more. Same thing. Sometimes you in most cases bosses spend more time, a lot more experience than anybody else. So you think you know everything. Actually, there's no such things as everything is great or 100%. But so sometimes you have to spend more time listening rather than telling them what to do, because they are eager to know, they are eager to learn from you. So you have to spend more time listening to them and to know what they want to know, what they want to learn, what they want to do. And so it's always you have to be ready to listen. And telling people what they need to do is only spend 20% of your energy, because because they have, just like I mentioned, everybody is different from each other. So each person has their own way of thinking. So you have to help them to grow in their own style. In order to make it happen, you have to listen to them and help them to make their energy to do a better way, to a much smoother way. In order to make it happen, you have to listen to them, get to know them more.
May I add something? There is a practice which some companies in Poland are using is one-to-one meetings. One-to-one meeting each month. Yeah.
Oh,
so
great.
Each month, a manager meets his subordinate, and they are talking about the development. Yeah. What is what challenges are you facing? How can I help you? Yes, so this is the way of having time for subordinate to help him help him grow. Yeah. So of course I'm watching and I'm supporting on the daily basis. Yes, but this one-to-one meeting is the time which I have especially for you as my subordinate. Yeah. I think this is the idea which is connected with these meetings is what you are talking about. Yeah?
That's great. That's great. Thank you for adding. Another thing is openness. It was similar, but empathy. As you see, empathy is people. Same concept. Accept the people are different. In order to make people more open-minded, then you have to spend more time listening to them. And also open-mindedness, heart-to-heart communication. It's very important. Actually, it's been okay. I cannot see the. Can you hear me? You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
The screen is gone.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Now it's okay or not?
Still not here.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on.
Ale my widzimy ekran.
Okay.
We can see the screen, Isao.
Oh, really?
So you cannot see, yes? Isao?
I cannot see. Only me. Well, I didn't do anything on my side. So
okay,
what was wrong with me?
Let's.
Everybody is now watching the screen.
I don't know what's happened. Let's check. My computer is blocked. And I cannot do anything. I will stop the slide sharing, okay, and we'll come back because I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, so. So can you see, Isao?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening.
Okay, see, so empathy is a more feeling, a more personal feeling, and toward your people. So, anyways, these are empathy is as you see over here. And always try to be on the same page. Try to be on their level. On the bottom, I've been there myself because every time, just for example, let me give an example. I spent 10 years in the local university in Nagoya City, and the students came over to my office and asking for help. So, Mr. Yoshino, I made a mistake and I couldn't do this. So what do you think? How can you help me out? So every time they bring me bad news, not bad news, but they bring with a very, sad feeling on their face. And I invited, why don't you to have a coffee, have a tea, and they say, okay, tell me what you're facing right now, and they just tell me all those things. I keep listening, keep listening without making any comments, and keep listening, and so they are so happy. Oh, so you are listening, so you are busy, but you are listening to me so many minutes. Then, so I just tell them, okay, don't worry about it, because the mistakes that you make, I have made in my entire life many times. I've been there before myself. So nothing new and nothing serious. So let's discuss about it, how to cope with that. So it's so important, the boss, tell your people to be, okay, I've been there before. And I'm not surprised, but it happens to you. It happened to me. So that it creates some bond between the boss and subordinates. Subordinates feel, oh, my boss made a mistake just like I did too. Okay, that makes me feel good. So that creating the bond with your people is so important. And within Toyota, that is very, very, strong. It's openly, it's not visible so much. Still, can you believe it? I'm still communicating with my boss, which I used to work in 1980, 40 years ago. 80, yeah, 80. So 40 years ago, I used to work for one guy. I still send some messages, still, keep update with him. Boss, I'm doing this very diligently. So then he said, oh, congratulations, Yoshino, you're still working. So because I really appreciate what he has done to me when I was helpless, and when I felt so bad about the slower pace, then he just coached me, tried to help me out. And he told me the same thing. I've been there, I've been there before myself. Don't worry about it. And so this is so powerful and to me, and personally, and publicly. Anyway, so this is so important as a big boss. Next page, please.
I may I add something, because I
Sure,
think that for our culture, it's a little bit challenging to admit that I made a mistake as a boss.
Oh yeah,
we
I know.
believe that we will lose our authority because we will say that we made a mistake. And I think that it's worth to say the story about your boss when you were starting your career.
Well, okay, maybe paint shop experience, because I know that in the Western culture, the people just want to hear good news. However, all those bosses, they made a lot of mistakes when they are younger. Maybe they are succeeded in hiding it from their bosses. But let me give you a very, very, short experience of me. When I joined Toyota in 1966, we have to go through the long orientation before we are assigned. So I have to go through 4 months orientation for newcomer. Then one of the assignments is that I have to work for about how many days? About maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks in the shop floor, in the plant, manufacturing plant of cars. I joined Toyota as a staff member working in the office, but one of the training, because we need to, even the newcomer from the college graduate needs to know what actually car making is. So we are sent to the factory. Then I was assigned in the paint shop. Paint is when the car body panel is welded together, then they send it to the paint shop and they paint the color, blue and white and black, and they paint the color. So my job was to prepare the paint so that the paint is sent from the tank to the painting shop. So my job is to fill in the tank and paint liquid and also solvent. Two things: paint and solvent put in together into the big mixing tank. But for some reason, I have to do that every 3 hours. And then one day, one day the paint shop guy just rushing to our office, to our plant, and okay, you guys, something is wrong. The paint does not stay on the body, so it does not stay. Something is wrong. Then my boss and I said, okay, how is it? So they asked me, Yoshino, just what did you do? So yes, sir, I put this paint in the mixer, and I put this solvent in the mixer, but I found out at the time I put the wrong solvent in the mixer. So I made a mistake. Then the next comment they make, oh, you put the wrong mixer. Where is it located? Okay, paint is in this corner, but solvent can is in here, but it's very close to the paint, paint section. So okay, so they said, oh, it's kind of you mixed up because you thought it was a solvent, but it's different one. So it sounds like it sounds like your mistake, but it's bad, manual. You have to totally separate, paint and solvent, clearly divided so that newcomer like me make any stupid mistakes. So it looks like your fault. It's not your fault. It's our fault. So can you believe it? They said that they did not blame me. Yoshino, don't worry about it. Things happen. And it's our mistakes because I know that you're a newcomer. So we know everything. We do that so many hours, so many days, so many months. So we know that, but you don't know. We did not recognize that you were new here. So it was our mistake not to prepare some very clear-cut assignment, whatever. So they not blame, but they said it is our mistake. Don't worry about it. Thank you for letting us. So because we can draw a new manual. See. They did not blame me in 1966, probably in July. So I was so impressed. I was so happy, and so happy. So that was the culture of Toyota. So it's empathy or understanding with each other. So don't blame somebody. Okay, let's go to this. It's the same thing as for bad news, because then. I know that bad news happens and people make mistakes. Oh, I'm coaching you have to bring the bad news first to your bosses. However, what happened if the bosses are not ready to accept bad news? Bosses only want to hear good news. Then what happened? When people bring the bad news to the bosses, then one of the first comments, oh, you made a mistake. You made a mistake 2 months ago. How many times do you have to make mistakes? Stupid. So that happens. Then nothing happens. The people who make mistakes will regret. Oh, okay. I want to be honest. I was honest, but then bosses they get so mad, and I feel so bad. Maybe they're gonna fire me. I don't know. So nothing happens. So it's so important, as you see over here. Don't bring. Boss says, don't bring me problem, don't just good news. That is really bad. And the problem happens. So within Toyota, see on the right hand, Taiichi Ono, he's a kind of great guy. He says, having no problem is the biggest problem of all. We make mistakes, problems happens. So it's so important that we don't intend to make problems. Things happen. We make mistakes. So it's so important to bring bad news up on the table and we discuss how to solve the problem. Which means don't blame people who make mistakes. Blame the system. Blame the steps that you take. Blame the instruction, whatever. So don't blame people. Blame things. Blame the rule. So that is very, very important and very powerful, message that I learned when I joined 1966.
So we can assume it's as don't blame people, blame the process. Yes, we are using this sentence in Polish. So you explained it really, really nice. Thank you.
Okay, next one is purpose. How many pages I prepared, because I'm spending too much time for each 20 pages or 30 pages? Joanna?
Sorry, we are 16 at 16 page, and we have 29.
20.
So we need to speed up a little bit.
Okay. I have to rest. Okay. Purpose goals are not local. Okay, this means that we have so many divisions working together in a big organization. So we have to communicate with each other. So that is what I'm saying. This on the bottom, avoid silo thinking. So don't think and do things within your own, but we have to communicate with. We have to think about what other people are doing. So that is what we keep saying. No silo thinking. Next page, please. Next one is maybe we're gonna skip, but this means that these are very visible chart will very much helpful to judge whether he or she has made any progress. So let's skip this here. So make it visible. And don't provide answer. Okay, this is so important, bosses. Okay, when something happens, in most cases, bosses have a lot of more experience than your subordinate. So sometimes, when the bad news is likely brought up to your bosses, then maybe you think, oh, I know the answer because I did this before. So sometimes you may feel like, okay, I know that. I've been there before. So why don't you do this? And big boss gives them the answer right away. That's no good. Don't do that. It won't help them grow. Because that will take away the chance of the guy who made a mistake to think deeper how to solve the problem themselves. Don't do that. See, as I see on the italic, when you tell them the answer, then take away the opportunity to think deeper because you give them an answer. Also, take away their responsibility. It's their responsibility to find a good solution. And most importantly, your boss, your advice may be wrong because it's 20 years ago. It won't work for today. So anyway, so this is so important. Help your people think more deeply, and you help them. Don't tell them the answer. So it takes longer time for them to find the solution, but it works.
Isao, may I ask a question? Because
Sure.
What if I'm asking my subordinate and he is giving the wrong answer? How you are?
Yeah. Okay.
What is the
if
Toyota manager's reaction?
Okay, I was in Toyota. If they receive the wrong answer, you believe the wrong answer. Then the first question is that how did you do that? What was the process you come to this conclusion, to this result? What was the process you take? First step, second step, third step. What was the step you take? What was the logic? How did you put the logic to reach this goal? Then they start explaining, then you can find out, okay, maybe you skip some of the process that you thought it was important. So that is one way to communicate with each other. Only, of course, you can find the solution, of course, but at the same time, you can develop your capability to talk, to coach your people. And thirdly, your subordinate will learn from your advice that how to do things from the step-by-step basis. So it will help them grow. So going through this one, it will help you as a boss to grow, help your subordinate to grow as well. And well, this maybe skip because two levels higher, but this is
no, it's important. It's
really?
important.
Okay.
Yeah.
When something happens, we are always advised that when you view something, you always supposed to view things from a little bit higher, more wider point of view. So not as just look too close and you only look at things by itself. But when you look a little bit higher, for higher position, then you look something around it, something much more around it. So then you have a bigger picture. Then you can make some more decent decision making based on this wider view. So because sooner or later your subordinate will become a higher position, so they have to be prepared. But to make a good work, then that broader viewpoint is so important.
Thank you.
And next, please. Go to Gemba. You already seen that. But you have to be careful. Go to Gemba is not necessarily bring to yourself to the Gemba where things are happening. Of course it is, but it's not limited. Bring yourself to go to Gemba. See, this is in my own way of thinking. This is we are doing this online. This is go to Gemba. So this is I don't go. I don't. I'm not visiting Poland. But I'm talking to you guys verbally, and I'm talking to Joanna verbally. It's a kind of go-to Gemba. It's not Gemba, but I'm talking, talking online. That means I feel more closer. I feel closer with you guys, closer with Joanna, because it's not that sending email. So we take it broader. So anyway, go to Gemba. That is the only way you can get to know the real facts, and don't trust the document only. Don't depend on only the document or numbers that they send you through emails. And you have to make sure when it becomes so important, you have to bring yourself to the Gemba, talk to the people, talk to the place, things happening, to make sure that the data and the information and all the surrounding, everything is correct or not from your own eyes. So that's why we keep saying, oh, have you been to Gemba? And that's so important comments. Next page, please. And okay, advice. Well, this is simple. If you have 3 items you have to finish today, it's not difficult. 3 items. Because, you have to finish 1, 2 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, something like that. But if you have 10 or 15 items you have to finish today, then you have to prioritize. You have to prioritize maybe first 3 items you have to finish by the end of the day, and then think about what are the remaining 7 items. So taking priority is very important. Then why it is important? Because you can develop your sense, you can develop your ability how to judge this is important, this is less important. All those degrees you can understand the degrees of importance when you look at something. So that's so important if you are so busy people. Next page, please. And of course, this is that this is Maslow's policy, not policy. Maslow's point. On top of this, and second one, self-actualization, also esteem. Everybody wants to attain the goal, of course. Everybody wants to regard it, wants to be listened to, wants to be not neglected, wants to be recognized. See, recognition is so important. And even I'm getting older and I have no strong will to do something more, but still I have a certain amount of self-esteem. So everybody, even small kids, even dog, even the cat, they have their own thinking, and own way of thinking, and so they want to be respected. They want to be taken care of in a proper manner. So this is so important, very basic, but very, very important. And that's why we keep saying that we have to listen. We have 80% listening, 20%, because that is, show respect is another thing. It's so important. Esteem and recognition. This is very, very important.
I think that for the motivation is quite important. That I know that you appreciate what I'm doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if I believe that I'm strong, I'm good, I'm doing good things. Of course, mistakes, but also something good. Yeah. My internal motivation is growing up.
Yes, I agree. Whatever even now, I still coaching a student. When they call me, and then they just want to get some help from me. So then I ask them, well, what is the problem you are facing? But before I tell them, okay, before you tell me the problem you are now facing, you want to solve the problem, tell me what you are doing. And then when I finish listening to them, I first comment by good way, not good way, good side of the story. So, okay, now I heard from 10 minutes. And so these are the items that I believe that you are pretty good. You did a good job on these things because of that I explained. I'm very, very, fascinated by your attitude, by the way of thinking to accomplish this one. However, I have a couple of things that I would like to advise you as the not weak point that you have to improve. So I always try to give them good aspect and bad aspect together, combination. Because again, if you only talk about how to improve, you have to improve these things. Then people get demotivated. So that's so important. Another thing, okay, what is this? Problem happens every single day, and if it is not, it's so important. As you see on this photos. Over there on the left-hand side, lower bottom, as is, that means this is where you are at. So you have some issues you have to handle, but you don't know why, you don't know how. But on the top rank on the right-hand side, to me, that is the target. So you have to clearly see the target to be on the right-hand side top, but you have to need where you are at as is on the left-hand side. Then, okay, I'm here. Then I have to go there to the top right. Okay, there is so many ways you have to go through that. So then I have to bridge the gap from here to there. So you have to make it very clear from where to where you need to go. So make it clear where you are, make it clear where you want to be. So it's very, very important. This is not only problem solving, but whatever. So if you want to attain something, then first thing you have to do is where you are right now. Then you can set the goal where you want to be. Then by doing so, you can find out how many steps you need to take, or how many roads, how many space, not how many action plans you need to take. So make it clear where you are at and where you want to be is very, very important. And next page, please. Okay, in order to make it happen, okay, when I think many of you are the bosses or managers with many people working for you. Then it is so important to start from you first. Don't start with someone. Start with you. With your own means, I'm talking to the managers. What is leaders? What is your strong point? And so why don't you write it down, your own strength, strong point. So look at this on the right-hand side. These are the examples. On the left-hand side, if you're a good communicator, the communication is good. You are very patient, then good at listening, good listener. Decision making, you are very quick based on a good analysis. Human network, you have a lot of people, a lot of people. On the right side, positive attitude, empathy, you always listen to them carefully. Problem solving and responsibility. You don't blame somebody first, but you blame yourself first. Ability to take action. So only not coaching something, but you just put it into practice, see what happens. So all these are the example of the strong point of yourself. Why don't you think about yourself and what is my strong point? So you have to, when you start something, you want your people start something new, then why don't you start yourself first? Then you can be stronger, you can be more powerful when you advise to them, as long as you have already analyzed your strengths. And next page, based on that, then you start with your subordinate, and then you have to list, sometimes you ask me, what is your strong point? Tell me about 10 points. People, whenever my subordinate, my students come over to me, what is my strong point? What is my weak point? I can't think of anything. No, there are so many weak points, so many strong points, but the only thing is missing is they don't sit down, think deeper. So this sometimes I show this. Okay, this is a list of weak points. So think about your strong point and weak point together, or whatever. So you say that I can't even think of my weak point. No, it's not that you cannot, but you have not tried that so hard. So think about it and think about it deeper. Write it down by your own hand and then sort it out. So you have to go through the process. And so that is what I would like. I've been recommending. And then you have to make it smaller, maybe 3. So this one is listen to someone excuse. Well, this is very important because when people make mistakes, people want to hide it. But when it becomes open, then if you talk to the people, they bring the millions of excuses with them. Try to stop me from blaming, stop you from blaming them. So it's a bad steps. So you know what, sometimes what do you do? So listen to you have to listen to the excuses because they want to, but don't focus on the excuses because it's past. What happened past, but you have to focus on what we do next. So this is the example ABC. When your people bring some mistakes they have made and then unjustifiable excuses, how do you explain? One is, oh, that's okay. Things happen. Don't worry. I will take care of it. Okay, stay away. Don't worry about it. You are off. I will take care of it. Second one, no excuses. You just this is enough. You made a million of excuses in the past 3 months. You get mad. See, let's dig down to find the root causes because things happen. Don't worry about it. Sit down. Which one? Maybe third one is the best one. First one, I will take care of it. Maybe you can solve the problem. However, a couple of reasons it is not good. One reason because your experience to solve the problem is so old. I mentioned already. It does not fit to the current condition. Another reason is that you take away their responsibility. So that the comment you make, oh, I will take care of it. Don't worry about it. You do something else. Take away their pride. That's terrible. So and the second one, of course, is terrible. So third one, you have to be patient. Let's sit down. So just think about getting mad will not create anything. Create terrible relations. So anyway, you have to be ready. You have to calm down. You have to be very, calm down yourself. And so it's patience is very, very important. And next page, please. Okay, views and objective. Well, it's just simple. Opinions, I already talked about the facts and opinions, so no need to explain. Only focus facts. See, this is a comment from Dr. Deming. And don't blame people because most cases, process is a problem. So this is, can you believe it? I don't know when he said this. 85% of the reason for the failure are what is this? Deficiency in the system or process rather than employees. Can you believe it? 85% of the failure come from the process, not people. That's what he said in the 1950s. So this is very, very true. And so we blaming somebody does not bring anything. And this is not something new comments from Toyota guy, but this comes from this genius guy. He said that. So and so let's put it in our mindset and our last one is help develop yourself because collaborate. Because one person, of course, if you're very excellent, but you can create some good answer. But because but if you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people have different background, different approach. So one person's it is much better and more. They have more profound, more wider viewpoint than one person. So let's collaborate. Of course, it's a good effect is that you can get a better idea. But at the same time, you can help your people to grow by getting together. You spend more time, but it's no waste of time. You can help them to develop themselves, how to bring up their opinion, how to draw some conclusion together, how to listen to other people. So there's more benefit, than doing something by yourself. So think about it. Maybe this is the last one. So I'm sorry that I taking too much time, but these are what we practicing at Toyota. But I'm not suggesting you to do exactly the same thing, but think about it. This really worked at Toyota, and it's working right now. So think about which one will best fit to your situation and create your own style based on this input.
My experience is showing that we can use all these rules, and the challenge is that people, subordinates, are not used to managers who are working this way. So they are surprised and they are scared. What's happening?
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So what we as a managers in Poland needs more is to prepare our people for this mindset, so for this way of working with the people, because when we hear the question, yes, we are scared because we don't know if the answer will be correct, and the answer to the boss should be correct. Yeah. So this is the general way of thinking. Of course, many people think different, but this is the most challenging, and patience. I think that in each culture, it's a challenging thing.
I know. So it's so important, because don't expect your subordinate to change the attitude. Of course, you can expect it, but before you expect them to change, you have to change your attitude. Be more patient, and you have to listen more, and you have to help them out. And sometimes people make mistakes, you accept all the mistakes. So you have to start yourself, you guys. First, you show it your attitude first, then they will follow. Don't expect them to change and you don't change. That nothing happens. And that is why Toyota has been successful. Why other companies is struggling. The reason is not the car quality, but it's the people's quality, not the manager's attitude. So very simple. Because we are on same people, Nissan people, Toyota people, Mazda people, same people, nice people. However, their attitude as a business position, then it's corporate culture. So bosses needs to start changing their attitude first. So you have to ready to change it. So that's very simple, but not so easy to change it. But that is the only way.
Yeah, but we have students here, so they can create this new way of management. Yeah. So I hope.
Yeah. So if you guys any plans to invite me to discuss more about each of these topics, and I'll be very happy to do that. So please talk to Joanna, and I try to set some time. So this is so important. I'm very happy that people are interested in this topic.
There is one question, Isao.
Sure,
we have 2 minutes left, so we can use it. Okay, so what is the most important in my self-development as manager? If you would have to say only one thing.
Okay, just you have to be a good listener. You have to listen to them. Whatever they say, you have to, oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, you're good. Thank you for sharing it with me. Even though it's silly comments, you have to be happy, because they decided to speak up. So doesn't matter what they say, thank you for your comment. You have to appreciate, because that shows that you are ready to listen. See? If you stop, okay, that's not a good answer. That is not idea based on my experience. If you start like this, people will not come to you. So it's so important. You have see. That's why I said patient, and you have to ready to listen. So it's very simple.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
So Isao, I have a question, because you are more experienced than I am. So on the other hand, if we want to achieve a goal, I know we need a strong why. We need that emotional purpose. So can you tell me how to find that emotional purpose, how to find that why, if we are not motivated to achieve a goal?
I don't understand the emotional what?
I will explain why, emotional why. So why for the goal? Yeah, why to follow the goal? So the question is, how you?
Because I asked about the emotional purpose. I mean, the purpose why we should achieve that goal. How to find that?
The goal is that you have to agree the goal is important to attain this specific goal from different, so many angles, from the business purposes, from the motivation purposes, from the company's future goal purposes or short-term goals. You have, so setting, that's a good question. Setting the goal is important. You have to bring in the people attention to finalize the target. So when you set the target of the company, it's not that company's big boss decide himself or herself. It's not. The big boss just showed, okay, this is my target for next year, for example. Then all the senior managers or people just discuss about it and they bring up the ideas, then finalize as a team. So when you set the target, you know that the target is a final place where after everybody joined the discussion, the final decision is the target. It's not that only one way from top management to the people. This is a target. I don't know whether your target is, but this is a target. You need to do that. It's totally different. Target is you have to agree with it. That's why we spend so much time to set the target, discuss target, and listen to other people to attain, set the target. Does that make sense?
That's why we are using Hoshin. This is the moment when we are when we cascade the strategy and we are talking about the targets. Yeah, am I correct, Isao? That the Hoshin is.
You know, I don't. It's a Jan.
Jan.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jan. So what do you mean about emotional aspect, or what is
purpose.
the relation?
Yeah, because I mean, the goal is just a goal, but you know, the emotional purpose is what motivates us to achieve that goal. And sometimes, if we have a goal, it's hard to you know, to achieve it because we are not motivated. So my question was how to, you know, the emotional aspect of that goal.
Okay,
you know,
maybe I think I understand a little bit. Okay, target is the company's target. So you like it or not, but its company needs to attain the target to survive, right? That is the company's target, or division target. Then, if it is very difficult target, but still as a department boss, you need to attain this target, then big boss needs to think about, okay, how to motivate the people, because this target is very high rank, very high, very difficult, but still we have to attain this goal this year. Then big boss, the first action big boss is that you have to talk to each people, okay, I know this is very difficult target because but we have to attain this because of these reasons. You have to explain this one. And also encourage people, okay, I know this is maybe in your position, Mr. B, you know, this is maybe very, very difficult to attain. However, as a company, as a division, we have to attain this. So you have to do this. So I know it's so difficult, then I know in a position, particularly very, very difficult for your position. So I can help you, or we can discuss with each other how to make your division to attain this goal separately. So your big boss is already ready to help, ready to support, or ready to bring support from somebody or something. So it's so important to motivate, just like you say, to motivate all the people to attain the goal. So that requires a lot of mental strength of your big bosses. If you only focus on attaining the goal only, and people the bosses don't care about the people, how they feel about it, then nothing happens. So you have to be, bosses needs to always think about whether they are happy, whether they have some time and they have a hard time. Maybe I should help. I should come down over there and provide some help from my position or something. So it's very important for the big boss to always share with other key people and make them feel comfortable to attain this goal. So that is the major role of big bosses.
So I think that we can summarize it like that. So say, explain why this goal is important for all of us. Yeah. The second point is give the support. Yeah.
If necessary,
if
yes.
it's needed, if it's needed. The second point is appreciate the small steps. I think this is also important. Appreciate even the small effort. Yeah. Especially at the beginning, when the target is scarified us. Yeah. And we do not believe that it's possible to achieve to be achieved. So this appreciation of the effort of the that we are trying, even if we are failing. Yeah. I think it's important in our culture, Jan. Yeah. So I'm
Yes.
sorry. It's 9:06. I know that you have next classes, and I have also next class. So, so thank you for the time you gave us, and thank you all of you for participation. I hope that this input was valuable for you. So take it. Think about it and use it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We will be in contact. Yes.
I see. Well, very quickly, Jan, if you have any specific question, anything to talk with me, send me an email. Then we communicate.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, you have my email address, right?
Yes, I will give them.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. All
Thank
right,
you.
and good luck to you guys.
See you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.